Wanda mosa yenye ekufirima ma-elections here.
This one
Inongokutsana.
isusu hatina chatohanda this one wacho isusu
ngatipinde munyaya tozotaura nyaya yekuhwanda kwaYUDA.
Tatopinda, gents. Well, good evening to you, obvious witnesses. Here we go. We're starting live right now. Zanu PF has made a proposition to lecture, to advise, to give consultancy to the US government over peace during elections. Now, there's a video of the Zanu PF director of information making this announcement. Have you seen it? But briefly, here we're joined through the studio by two esteemed gents from these different groupings in our community that are in the opposite of each other. Mr. YUDA is a celebrated whistleblower. He is a breaking news expose man who exposed the vote rigging in 2008. And also, we have here Dr. MAVAZA, who writes passionately about Ethiopia and about Emerson and Gordy. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Simba. Good evening, Comrade YUDA.
Good evening, Vazet. Good evening, Mr. Chkanza.
Thank you. Right. So, shall we start now? Dr. MAVAZA, you, or shall we say your party, has made this announcement today. To your office, you are that the US government should obtain consultancy on shape building about peace. How have you made the proposition?
Is it my poor network or what?
I'm wondering again because I cannot hear Simba properly. You are breaking up.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, Simba, if you can hear me clearly.
I can't hear him. It's breaking up.
Yeah, I can't hear him
Both
too.
of you, I can hear you.
Breaking up.
Can hear.
Simba, can you clearly hear us?
I can hear you. Shoot.
Okay, let me respond to what you've said. The first thing we want to say, Simba, and we are with a heavy heart. We've seen and learned of the attempted assassination of the aspiring president of the United States, Comrade Donald Trump. It is actually with a heavy heart because we do not expect at this day and age that there are people who seem to or who would want to kill an aspiring president, eliminating him by death. We expect that countries like America and other democratic countries, as they call themselves, would actually insist in democracy, remove a president by election, not by a gun. And therefore, this type of behavior is quite disappointing for any other human being. I think in all languages spoken on earth, they should come together and condemn such an action. But however, as you have noticed from our director of information, I think I do agree with him 100% that as Zanu PF, we have shown the world that we can have elections without attempt on any leader's life and without any leader being tried or attempted to be assassinated during a rally or during any gathering. And therefore, we are happy to come to America and observe the elections and see if they are literally free and fair. Actually, we can be the best guides to guide people on the democratic, free and fair elections, because we have done this since 1980 and we have not had any shootings at a rally. The only rally where there was a bombing and shooting was our own rally, where we were tried to be intimidated by the opposition, but we now seem to know where they get their leaf from. But however, without mentioning where they get it from, we come back to America and say, America should stand up, should stamp out such types of people who would want to eliminate leaders because they don't like them. You can realize that this will be Trump will be probably the 6th president who had faced an attempted murder scenario, and there have been 4 presidents, if not 5, who have been killed, who've been assassinated in the United States. We were hoping that is a thing of the past, but history repeats itself. But we pray that the elections which are coming, they will be free and fair, and that America should take a leaf from Zanu PF and run their elections in a very proper and orderly manner and choose a man. As we speak right now, Simba and YUDA, if you were not aware, the Trump's party is having a convention right now. As I have said, and I will repeat this now, in Zimbabwe and American politics or constitutions on selecting a president are similar. In Zimbabwe, the president is elected by the people after having been presented to the people by his party. Unlike in South Africa, where the president is not elected by the people. The president in South Africa is elected by his own party, but the people select a party, and then the party selects a president. Like in England, they don't vote for a prime minister. The people vote for a party, and then the party elects a prime minister. But in America and in Zimbabwe, the president stands on his own, having been presented to the people by his party. So there are similarities in the way we run our elections, the Americans and the Zimbabweans. And again, in America, as you can see, they have a convention where they have to appoint a candidate who represent a particular party in the elections. And in Zimbabwe, in Zanu PF, we call it Congress. We have a Congress where a president or a presidential candidate is selected or elected by the party and then presented to the people for elections. And then people will vote for that person or for the other of a different party. So there are quite a number of similarities. The only difference between the two parties is we don't kill our opposition members. We actually promote them, support them, and we encourage them to come up and campaign freely in Zimbabwe, because the Zimbabwe is the only country you can call ours, the country which exercises this freedom. I will tell you without hesitation that if this had happened in Zimbabwe, if an opposition leader was fired it would have been news everywhere in the world, being told that Zimbabwean government is trying to intimidate opposition. But we are surprised it doesn't come out that way when it happens in America.
Remember, it's MAVAZA. It's 15 minutes. You've
yes,
been talking for 8 minutes.
I'm
waiting to respond.
Let him roll down.
Yeah, in my rolling down, YUDA, I would assure you that if this had happened in Zimbabwe, it would be a different story. But the only thing and the everlasting statement I would want to remain in your mind and the minds of those listening is that look at Zimbabwe. If you want peaceful elections, if you want an example of what peace is, you look at Zimbabwe, and we are proud of being Zimbabweans, and we condemn with all the hearts we have the behavior shown in America, and that we pray that it will never be repeated again, and that Trump will be given a free way to run the elections, to compete and to campaign without a fear of a bullet on his ear.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. MAVAZA. First of all, I just want to point to you that you have got very short memory, very, very short memory. Because when you started to talk about violence in America, you said since 1980, Zimbabwe has held peaceful elections, which is not true. Let me remind you of recent attacks on President Nelson Chamisa's convoy, where gunshots were fired at his car. His car still has those gunshots which were fired by Zanu PF people. And for your own information, reminding you or taking you back to 2023 campaigns, we saw President Nelson Chamisa not being allowed to move from one place to another in Zimbabwe. All the roads were barricaded by the soldiers and by Zanu PF youth militias and by Zanu PF supporters. So stones were thrown at Chamisa. Every time Chamisa gathered at a rally, Zanu PF people would come with matches and bludgeon people to death. So a good example is Mboneni, who was murdered in Kwekwe, and you saw that violence in Kwekwe. It was so intense to the extent that even the SADC condemned the Zimbabwe elections, the recent ended Zimbabwe elections. So, Mr. Mavaza, you have got a very short memory. Zanu PF is not a proper party that can advise America on democracy, because Zanu PF has never upheld the democratic space in our country. You have seen, Mr. Mavaza, in Mavuku, where that pastor was abducted at a rally and murdered. You are talking of one instance where Donald Trump was shot at. And where is the person who shot Donald Trump? The person was killed. Let's look at people who fired gunshots at President Nelson Chamisa. Not even one was apprehended. No one is in prison for that. Let's look back at President Richard Morgan Tsvangirai's rallies. You can Google Tsvangirai's photos there. You can see cars and swollen face being bludgeoned by Zanu PF youth militias. And not even one of them was ever arrested and prosecuted for that. But in America, we saw that guy who shot at Donald Trump being shot and killed by the security forces.
So you support killing?
Our security forces in Zimbabwe
You're an
have
embarrassment,
never
Yuda.
shot anyone who shot at Chamisa. They've never arrested anyone who attacked Tsvangirai. So Zimbabwe is far from being a country that can advise America on democracy. Zimbabwe is an apartheid state where only one party is allowed to campaign. Not any other
You know what
party
they're talking about.
is allowed to campaign in Zimbabwe.
Yuda.
No, I'm talking.
Maybe
me talk.
Dr. Mavaza, let him just roll down, Mr. Yuda, roll down for 30 seconds, please.
Yes, because when you look at Zimbabwe's democracy, Zimbabwe, I'm wondering what Nick Mangwana can write about democracy in Zimbabwe. As I'm speaking right now, there is a report which was made by SADC, and another report made by EU, another report made by AU condemning Zimbabwe elections, that they were never free and fair. For someone from Zimbabwe to say is in a better position to advise America on democracy, those are wet dreams. That's daydreaming. Those are wet dreams. And coming from a person like Nick Mangwana, who is a propagandist, we know Nick Mangwana will never see the truth. He's blinkered like a horse. He cannot see what is happening either side of the political scenarios. So for Zimbabwe to stand and say they can lecture democracy to America, that's daydreaming. That's what we call okay, fine. I don't usually use that word, but let me say you are daydreaming, Mr. Mavaza. You've
But
got
30 minutes is done
short,
already.
You've got very short memory. That if you must reflect on everything that I've said. We have got graves in our country. Go to
Let
Kwekwe.
me respond.
Mboneni's grave is there. Mboneni was murdered at a rally.
Let me
Was
respond.
bludgeoned to death at a rally with matches by Zanu PF, sent by Emerson Mnangagwa and Nick Mangwana. So for you to come here and say Zimbabwe can lecture America on democracy because of one bullet that was shot at Donald Trump, you are not being fair. How many people have been killed last year?
But can we
How many people?
thank you?
Pardon?
Yes, yes. I needed you to end now so that we can just get to the to
Yeah, yeah.
the last
Let me
speaker.
finish.
No, no, he's not finishing this
Let
guy.
me finish by pointing to Mr. Mavaza or Dr. Mavaza, Masimba Mavaza. That remember the 2018 elections, where about 23 people were shot and killed by the army. Not even one person was killed in America as I'm speaking. Only one idiot who shot at Donald Trump. But what crime did those people shot and killed in Harare committed to
Right, Simba,
Mnangagwa?
let me respond quickly. Firstly,
No. You can.
it's not.
Yeah. But before you respond, Dr. Mavaza, I need you to address, please, the act of violence. What is the Zimbabwe view on who really is behind the violence in America? I'm saying here,
Yeah, Zimbabwe,
because the identity. Just Dr. Mavaza, who in your view is there a
Simba,
particular political party or grouping?
Simba.
Yes.
Let me be frank with you. Zanu PF does not cast aspersions; they investigate. We actually give America the chance to do their investigations. They are investigating, and they will let us know who is responsible. We are not like Americans who first at the firing of a gun blame ZANU PF for anything. ZANU PF is a reasonable party. It listens. But I wanted to say, Simba, we cannot allow YUDA to preach violence in a public space like this one. To say that he is happy that somebody was shot and killed, the 20-year boy, because he's the one who shot and shot the ear of Donald Trump. We believe that in a country like America, there is there is justice, and justice must be seen to be done. If you shoot and attempt to kill a president, or even kill a president, you must be arrested, taken to court, tried fully, and find out if the young man was insane, was sent, and whatever. Now we would never know who had sent him because he was killed on the spot. And Yuda is celebrating that. It's a shame. We do expect people to be arrested and taken to court and be tried.
Mr.
And I
Mavaza,
need to explain, and again, keep
Mr.
quiet.
Mavaza,
Yuda,
we
keep
saw
quiet.
no,
And I
we
need to
saw
explain
soldiers
fully
kneeling down,
about
taking
about
Mr. Mavaza.
about.
We saw
Forget about that now.
identifiable soldiers kneeling
Yuda,
down,
Yuda,
sniping
keep
and
quiet. I did
fleeing
not disturb you
people
when you're
in
speaking.
Zimbabwe, killing them. But
I'm
that
coming to that
soldier
point.
is still alive,
But if
I
roaming
am
the streets,
coming.
if you can
was never arrested.
I'm coming to that
if we
point.
can if we can
I'll
have Dr. Mavas just finish his point. Yeah, 30 seconds,
Yes.
please.
And Yuda, let me explain to you. When Chamisa claimed that there were shots fired at his car, that was checked. The guys from the forensic came, looked at his car. That was not a shot. That was not a bullet. It was actually a crack, probably caused by the heat. So we do not want to talk about dramas which were acted by Chamisa. And when he pretended that he wanted to be kidnapped, we are talking about people being shot at a rally in the broad daylight. That has never happened in Zimbabwe. The Mboneni Ngube issue you are talking about, it was an issue of people who fought in the peripheries of the rally. They were not in front, they were not addressing, they were sitting at the back, they had a fight there. Up to now, we're investigating to see if there were ZANU PF members or there were Triple C people fighting themselves. And you will see, as you have said, the minister, or rather the clergy you are talking about, whom you said was kidnapped from Mavuku and then was killed. Nobody knows that he was killed by ZANU PF. All that we know is that after the elections, Triple C split, and Chamisa was seen bolting out of that party like lightning to show
You
that
can
there
if you
was
can
death
if you
in
can
that
if you
party.
can if you
He
can
was
end, Doc.
running. He was running away from that party. Now we are simply saying, in conclusion, there is no way you can prove that ZANU PF has been violent. ZANU PF is not a violent party. It is a proper party. If you commit a crime, no matter how heinous, ZANU PF will follow the arms of law, the rules of law. It will not just kill you on the site in front of everybody at a rally, like what happened in America. That was wrong. And if that's what you celebrate, shame on you, Yuda.
Right, Mr. Mavaza.
Mr. Yuda.
Can I take you back? I want you to give me answers. We saw soldiers kneeling down, identifiable soldiers, kneeling down, adopting a sniper's position, and killed 23 people in the CBD of Harare. Has that soldier been arrested?
Let me correct your figures. There were 6 people who died, not 23. Number
Right.
2,
Let's assume 2. Let me assume 2 died. Let me assume 2 died, not 6. Let me assume 2 died.
Right,
Was
there were
that
6.
soldier arrested?
That soldier was arrested. That soldier was taken. Listen, was taken through a martial court, and they discovered that he was actually insane. And as we speak, he is under treatment.
Mr. Mavaza, how many soldiers were there?
There was 1 soldier who did that.
How many soldiers were firing?
Only 1, and that one was dealt with.
You see, if you cannot be truth to yourself, then you are reflecting what Zanu PF is like. It will never be. It will never be true. Zanu PF has never said anything. Let me say anything.
Yuda, I cannot be blamed for your short-sightedness. You are seeing things.
Mr. Mavaza,
when there was that,
you were talking whilst I was quiet. I'm asking you.
You asked me questions. You want an answer, don't you?
Another question. Where are the people who killed Tondera Indira?
Tondera Indira was killed by the CCC, the MDCT then, the MDC people. They were fighting.
Can see, Mr. Mavaza.
It was an internal fight. I can tell you the whole politics about it. That was an internal fight in the MDC. It had nothing to do with Zanu PF.
Mr. Mavaza
are not known to kill
Mr.
people.
Mavaza, I am not talking of someone I don't know. I'm talking of a colleague, a friend, a close friend of mine who was abducted and killed by state security who had AK assault rifles and a government vehicle.
Yuda, you were a bodyguard for Tsvangirai.
No. I'm telling you.
Let me
tell you, Mr. Mavaza. Tondera Indira was abducted by people with AK assault rifles, a government vehicle, and a policeman who was putting on state uniform.
Let me ask you a question, Yuda. When you were with Tsvangirai, what type of guns were you using? Were you not using AK assault rifles?
Mr. Mavaza, Tsvangirai has never owned a gun.
Yes, but you owned a gun. He never
used a gun.
He never, but you were his bodyguard. You had a gun.
I was never allowed to carry a gun. Allowed to carry a gun.
But you had a gun, even though
I was never allowed to carry a gun. I was a mere prison officer who cannot go with a gun in public.
Right. The answer my question, did you not have a gun?
No.
Right. You had a gun. When you left the prisons,
right.
When you
Can you answer me? Mr. Mavaza, I'm looking at your assertions. I've asked you, where are the people who killed Tondera Indira?
I told you Tondera Indira was
killed. Where are the people who abducted Itai Zamara?
We don't know. We are looking for them. If you know them,
no. You cannot say you are looking for them whilst they are known. The people are known.
Do you have the names? Give us the names. We are looking for people who know those.
The police knows. The police were finished with everything. The police knows.
Yuda, you are in a free country now.
Mr. Mavaza,
tell us the names.
We cannot give you names because even if we give you the same names, they need to go to the police, and the police have got the same names.
No, give us the names.
The people who abducted Itai Zamara are known.
We have asked you to give us the names, then we can deal with it.
No. I'm telling you, the police, ZRP has got everything.
ZRP don't have those names.
Before Partisan Zamara died, he finished the police with the names of the people who abducted his brother. The ZRP has got the names.
We have asked you to bring the names if you have them. What we know,
the police has got the names. I am telling you, hear it from me.
Yuda, I cannot be hearing these lies. You know that
No, they are not lies. The police
there's
have
nothing
got
like
them.
that.
Right. Recently, we saw Zimbabwean Shanduko being beaten right on a video with identified Zanu PF people. Not even one of them was arrested, Mr. Mavaza.
Gents,
Listen.
we're gonna need to roll down. I need your last remarks on this one because I promise that we're gonna have a short time.
Yes.
I've got an important question to both of you. Number one, Mr. Yuda, you are an opposition man, and you have been aligned for a while now to Joe Biden in your politics. How are you going to work this time with a Trump administration? How are you going to switch allegiance?
Unfortunately,
Let me finish on that. And you, Dr. Mavaza, you have been anti Donald Trump for a very long time. And now all of a sudden you're calling Donald Trump Comrade Trump. Yeah.
Yes.
So
You
both
want
of
an
you.
answer now?
So both of you, who are you really in the sphere of things?
The first thing is now Trump is a victim of violence. We do sympathize with him. We do not. We do not. We don't like him. We are not saying that he's part of us. We are simply saying that in the manner of being tortured by the press, in the manner of being victimized by those who think they are in power, in the manner of being almost killed, we sympathize with him. But we are not saying that what he stands for is correct. We simply say what has been done to him is unfair, wrong, and they must practice free and fair elections without intimidating people.
Mr. Yuda, give us your closing remarks on this also. Right? Where do you stand? Because it means Biden. At one time, Trump Trump. Then you switch sides. So where are you? Where do you stand?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chikanza, it is Zanu PF who align us to these American presidents because I don't know what they want to benefit. They want to push a narrative of sanction, this and that. We are not aligned to any of these presidents. But on my own, personally, I like Biden. I don't like Trump. I've never liked Trump. And Trump is not going to win any election.
Trump.
What you are saying now, it was a political statement said at a rally by a leader of the opposition. And remember, I was one of the people who shot at that to say, look, we know if Chamisa went to America and met Donald Trump's administration, it's as good as meeting Trump because the decisions will eventually come from Trump.
Kwana.
Decisions will eventually. It's like I'm going to Zimbabwe to talk to Zimbabwe regime. If I meet Nick Mangwana, he's a representative of Mnangagwa. Eventually, the decision of whatever we discuss will come from Mnangagwa. It's as good as meeting Mnangagwa.
Gents, we're gonna need to shut. I know I have to stay true to time here. We're only at 15 minutes, and we have stretched a bit. I actually did promise that we're gonna have 15 minutes. Our viewers and listeners here, you'll be able to rewind if you came in. Zanu PF is offering consultancy to the U.S. government for peace during elections. It's saying that the U.S. government should copy it on running elections. Do you agree? This is the discussion. Dr. Mavaza and Mr. Yuda, thank you very much for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Simba. Thank you, Yuda. And Yuda, please come to Zanu PF. We'll give you some few lessons.
No. Kuzana hakuna vanhu vanofunga seni saka I can't be there ndiri ndoani.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mavaza. Thank you so much, Mr. Chikanza.
Bye.
This is Zimbabwean Media. Broadcasting all round the world, on the spot, on the dot.
He said it.
So this is case number 26 out of the refunds, and we're just hearing this morning that a refund has been made.
Northampton.
Have you found it?
I did. Are you from Northampton? Hi.
How many years have you waited?
I think 3 years.
3 years. And how does it feel?
I'm so happy.
Yeah?
I'm so happy. And thank you very much, Simba, for all your help. Thank you so much.
Wow. And you found the reference now. Thank
Yes,
you.
I did.
How much more is left?
About 45,000.
45,000 is left.
Yeah.
So far they refunded? How much?
About 3,000.
3,000. And that's what you had deposited transferred into her account?
Yeah.
Right. Well, what's your message to other women who are still to get their refunds?
Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Don't lose hope. And listen to Simba, please. And Bud Ezra. Listen and follow all their instructions. We'll get victory.
Wow.
The descendants of the great pharaohs are clearly now rising to take over the world. The Americans have CNN, the British, BBC, the Asians have Al Jazeera, the Germans have DW. Where is the great pharaoh's own news network? Where's the great eagle's eye? It is here. It has come alive, finally. And even now, as I look at this instant reversal previously impossible, I know that this is just the beginning. There is clearly so much more in store for us if we were willing to invest in ourselves. Let's invest in ZimEye, our own network, the Black Pharaoh's News Network, the People's Eye, the ZimEye.
So this is case number 26 out of the refunds, and we're just hearing this morning that a refund has been made.
Northampton.
Have you found it?
I did. Are you from Northampton? Hi.
How many years have you waited?
I think 3 years.
3 years. And how does it feel?
I'm so happy.
Yeah?
I'm so happy. And thank you very much, Simba, for all your help. Thank you so much.
Wow. And you found the reference now. Thank
Yes,
you.
I did.
How much more is left?
About 45,000.
45,000 is left.
Yeah.
So far they refunded? How much?
About 3,000.
3,000. And that's what you had deposited transferred into her account?
Yeah.
Right. Well, what's your message to other women who are still to get their refunds?
Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Don't lose hope. And listen to Simba, please. And Bud Ezra. Listen and follow all their instructions. We'll get victory.
Wow.
The descendants of the great pharaohs are clearly now rising to take over the world. The Americans have CNN, the British, BBC, the Asians have Al Jazeera, the Germans have DW. Where is the great pharaoh's own news network? Where's the great eagle's eye? It is here. It has come alive, finally. And even now, as I look at this instant reversal previously impossible, I know that this is just the beginning. There is clearly so much more in store for us if we were willing to invest in ourselves. Let's invest in ZimEye, our own network, the Black Pharaoh's News Network, the People's Eye, the ZimEye.
So this is case number 26 out of the refunds, and we're just hearing this morning that a refund has been made.
Northampton.
Have you found it?
I did.
Are you from Northampton? Hi.
How many years have you waited?
3 years.
3 years. And how does it feel?
I'm so happy.
Yeah?
I'm so happy. And thank you very much, Simba, for all your help. Thank you so much.
Wow. And you found the reference now. Thank you.
Yes, I did.
How much more is left?
About 45,000.
45,000 is left.
Yeah.
So far they refunded? How much?
About 3,000.
3,000. And that's what you had deposited transferred into her account?
Yeah.
Right. Wow. What's your message to other women who are still to get their refunds?
Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Don't lose hope. And listen to Simba, please. And Budi Ezra. Listen and follow all their instructions. We'll get victory.
Wow.
The descendants of the great pharaohs are clearly now rising to take over the world. The Americans have CNN, the British, BBC, the Asians have Al Jazeera, the Germans have DW. Where is the great pharaoh's own news network? Where's the great eagle's eye? It is here. It has come alive, finally. And even now, as I look at this instant reversal previously impossible, I know that this is just the beginning. There is clearly